So I guess it looks like the Coyotes failed their vote in Tempe. Pretty disappointing, but something has come up here recently. Danny, if you want to pull it up, I'm excited about this. I don't know if whoever is, if you are, if you're not, they might be going to the old Fiesta Mall site in Mesa. That's actually our old stomping grounds. It's a great location as far as like the land, and you can create a lot of entertainment there. So I think that's a big plus for the Coyotes because if not, they're gonna go somewhere else. And what have you been hearing, Danny? What are your people telling you?
Well, I don't have very many people, but the old site at the Fiesta Mall would be great. That's a location that really needs to be built up again because that used to be a hot spot and it's been downhill since. Everything around it's been closing down. There's nothing in that corner, and it's right off a freeway. It's off a freeway, so it's a prime location. It's just a matter of getting the votes to build there. Now, my question is, why did it fail in Tempe? Do you know why?
No, I haven't heard too much. I think they thought that the taxpayers were going to have to pay for it, just like how the taxpayers paid for the Cardinal Stadium, and everyone was all, up in arms after the fact. So I think that's the main. But I don't know how you not know it's not funded, right? Like there must have been another opposition, someone saying that you're going to have to, you have to pay for this through your taxes or whatever. And City of Tempe didn't want to do that, or that a lot of people that live there didn't want to pay extra taxes. But it creates more jobs, more traffic, and that area that they had for Tempe would have been nice. But I love this idea of Mesa way better. Like that area is run down, it's beat up. Ever since Chandler Mall came up, that mall was useless, and then it went out of business. When I was a kid, it was packed on Saturday and Sundays. They had a nickel arcade across the street where it's $5 to get in, a nickel for every game. And they had all these cool, restaurants around there when you're little, and, now you put in the stadium, you put in that entertainment package, more residents are going to, it just builds everything around it, right? Like housing's going to go up. They're going to build better housing, better complexes. I mean, It's just going to make that area nice.
It will. And right across the street is Mesa Community College. So I'm sure they could work some kind of a deal where Mesa Community College can benefit in that area. Maybe they'll have their own hockey program or figure skating program or something that involves ice skating. But yeah, that area could be built around more shops, more local business, because you have the land there. It's a significant amount of land. I don't know if they'll have to bulldoze the entire land.
Yeah, they will. They have to level it off.
But sure, you build a stadium and you have all these sub businesses around, and you can start building hotels again. People will go there. I think it's a good location.
Idea. Because you build hotels, guess what? Golfland's a mile down the street. A mile or two down the street. So that would build that area. People that stay at the hotel, watch a game, they can get, bust to, Golfland, or just take a rental car and go to Golfland, and that's a day trip for their kids. But people are, some people I know are like, oh, there's gonna be so much traffic. It's better than not having a nice area, dude. Like you're gonna have nicer restaurants, bars. You're gonna have concert events, probably. You can have motocross. I don't know what else you can have in that stadium, but you can have big comedians use that venue. I mean, this is a big loss for Glendale. Mesa's bigger than Glendale, and it's a hockey stadium. You don't need that much room compared to like the Cardinal Stadium, like football stadium. Plenty of parking. You just build a couple parking garages, So that area is huge. You've been there. The mall area alone is the stadium, and there all that parking around it. You can build a couple parking garages, and you're fine. Across the street, you're gonna have all the there's tons of restaurants already across the street, or abandoned buildings and stuff across the street that you can renovate and bring in new businesses. And it's just going to get big. Like to your say, build another hotel. There's a hotel there that's been there forever. It used to be a Hilton. I don't know what it is now. But they'll build more hotels because you're going to bring in more people. That's what, 41 games a year that they're going to be playing, regular season games. Plus if there's playoffs. I mean, I was young enough when I saw Jeremy Roenick's, Keith Kachucks, when, they had the whiteouts and the Coyotes actually meant something in the valley. I've seen those days. I know they can do that again. But ever since they went to the west side, it's like they dropped off.
When they went to the west side, I knew it wasn't going to last long. I'm surprised it lasted this long, but I knew their attendance rate was going to go down. I'm like, how are you going from downtown Phoenix, where it's central, out to the west side? Like, who wants to go there during a weekday?
It's hard.
Right? Cardinals, I get it because it's every Sunday. Yeah, people will make that once every 2 weeks
It's
to
all
go
day
there.
Sunday too. Mm-hmm. No, but you're right. I've done that too. I only go one game a year, and that's when the Penguins are in town. And if it's on a Tuesday or a weekday, I'm like, crap. You got to get there ASAP, like right after work, right after the kids get out of school. You want to leave the house around 5, maybe 4, to beat that traffic because it gets pretty bad from East Valley all the way to West Valley. And then you're looking at the game gets over. It starts at 7. Game gets over at 9:30. Plus, then you're looking at driving back home, and that parking to get out of Glendale is a pain in the butt, man. And then you're home at 11 o'clock at night, and then kids have school, and you have to go to work. It just ruins. It just doesn't sound good. That's why you can't get season ticket holders from the east side. They don't want to go during the week.
Well, here's another thing with the Cardinals. Like, how serious are they about having a real team?
You mean Coyotes?
Yeah, the Coyotes, rather. Not the Cardinals, the Coyotes. Because the Coyotes have always been like, this is just a team you beat up, and people just go there to see their favorite teams to come in and beat up on them.
Yeah, when I go to the Penguins game, it's always Penguins fans, like 90%, 95%.
Visiting fans take over
the Blackhawks, yeah,
every time.
And it's embarrassing. If you're, I have a buddy that's a hardcore Coyotes fan that I go to every once in a while. He hates it. He's outnumbered. It's always an away game for him. He says, there's a lot of teams that attract that. The Detroit Red Wings are another team. I don't know because the Coyotes they needed help to stay here. Remember, the NHL stepped in to help them stay here to find new ownership group a couple times, not just one time. They want to keep it, hockey in the Valley. I think moving them to the East Valley. I don't care if it's Scottsdale, Tempe. I would love it Mesa because that's a great plan. They need to come to the East Valley. Plus the fact that they're going to play one more year here in Tempe. They can't stay there forever. Plain and simple. They can't share that.
Well,
stadium.
they voted it out anyway, so the voters thought they would have to fork the bill, and turns out that that's not true, apparently.
Yep. They blew their chance, but I'm talking about playing at the ASU stadium. It's too small of a stadium. It's good for college, but for a pro team, you're not selling tickets. And the tickets to go to those games are so expensive.
Very expensive.
It's
I was
crazy.
like, cool, nearby. And I looked at the prices like, nah, to watch a slaughter?
No, to watch them get beat up? No. You can't take a family of 4. It's out of control. For good seats, out of control in that place. It's great for college. Maybe minor league hockey, but pro hockey, like for those prices, you're not going to bring in the clientele. You're not going to bring in families to come watch a game if they're going to spend over $1,000 for good seats.
Yeah. So they definitely have to work on something with like pricing for the seats to get real fans, to get them in the door to come watch the game. Because they know most of the time they're going to get beat up, but at least support them in some fashion. Just don't overprice the fans. Because they're not like the Suns where you can overprice the fans right now because they have major names. So what's the next step? Like, okay, let's figure out a place where we can host a team and actually build a team. Like get 2 big names on the teams that draws people to come in to watch the games and see them start winning. But right now, they're nowhere near that.
Well, it's because there's no revenue. They don't have their own stadium. They don't have a revenue. They don't have a revenue stream right now. If they had their own stadium, a new stadium, more seats, more ticket sales, more merchandise sales, then you can start getting some, 1 or 2 heavy hitters on the team. But that's not going to happen anytime soon until they build the new stadium. You're looking at 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road, and they haven't even agreed on where they're going to go. I think it's a big loss for Arizona if they lose the team.
Oh, yeah.
We won't get another hockey team for a long time. I'll tell you that much.
The Coyotes put out a Twitter poll of where they like to locate the team.
Let's see it.
You'd think it'd be Mesa, but that's number 2. But
Okay.
by a long shot, 107,000 people voted on Twitter, and 69% of them want Scottsdale.
There's money in Scottsdale. That's why. There's a lot of players that came out of Scottsdale. That guy from Toronto that was the number 1 pick overall, Austin Matthews, lived in Scottsdale. So I can see that. There's a lot of kids that play out in Scottsdale. So that's pretty cool that I could live with that. Scottsdale's on the freeway, and you just drive down. It's better than going to the west side, don't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Scottsdale would be a good spot. I mean, it wouldn't be Mesa because it'd be more convenient for us, sure, but as a business standpoint, Scottsdale makes most sense, especially if people are responding best to Scottsdale. They just have to secure the votes and really tell people it's going to be funded privately, not by taxpayers. Because people have that sour taste from the Arizona Cardinals Stadium that it was taxpayer funded, so the rich get away with our tax dollars, right? People don't like that. They don't want to hear that. But if they find out that it's privately funded, and they want you to come in, there's a mission, great for the community, build a team, a good hockey team, not just using taxpayers for the money, but an experience for them, I think it'd be worth it.
Yeah, and then do you have a list of the cities that might take the Coyotes if they don't end up doing it? But to your point with Scottsdale, you're right. It makes more sense to go there for the longevity of the team. Scottsdale is where they need to be. I would just rather see them in Mesa. It's right down the street. But I can drive a little bit more to go to Scottsdale.
So if it's not going to happen in Arizona, here's a list of possible locations for the Arizona Cardinals that I have listed up here. First one I keep reading about is Houston.
I think that's number one is Houston. I don't see it, but
outside of Arizona,
Houston's bigger than Dallas as far as like population.
I didn't know that. I thought Dallas was
I just made that up. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of think I heard that somewhere. So I think they could hold them. So yeah, I think.
But Dallas already has a hockey team.
Yeah.
So if you have another one, you have these weird situations with the NFL with the Cowboys and Texans. Like most of Texas roots for the Cowboys, and you have that small portion of the city just roots for the Texans, which of course is the city.
Yeah, it's the Houston Texans, but it'll take time for that to happen. The second one, I could see that one being realistic.
Salt Lake City?
Yeah, because I think that's more realistic than Houston. Salt Lake's, I go there every once in a while. It's we have family there. My wife's side of the family's from there. It's getting bigger and bigger. Like it's big out there. It's coldish. It's cold. I was gonna say something else, but it's cold in the winter times there in Salt Lake. So why wouldn't they have a hockey team? That's kind of weird to me. They have a minor league team, but I could see that realistically, they should just go to Salt Lake if they don't stay here.
Third rather. Sacramento.
No, it's a dump. Don't go to Sacramento.
They have a basketball team. They could use that stadium.
Yeah, they could, but don't go to Sacramento. Like there's all kinds of. I'm not saying because Sacramento sucks, because I'm not a fan of Sacramento, but they already have plenty of teams. They have like three NHL teams in California. Spread the wealth.
Oh, you just don't want them in California?
I just don't want them in California. I'd rather see them in Salt Lake.
So the next one on the list is San Diego. No.
No.
All right, then let's go with Milwaukee.
I could see that happening. Milwaukee versus Chicago would be a rivalry. I wouldn't be too mad at that. So that makes sense because it's cold,
Well, that too, and they could share the stadium with the Bucks.
They could. So you'd have the Bucks owner would jump in there and try to buy them. So yeah, I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. Oklahoma City.
No, it's a dump.
But they have a basketball team. Another situation where you could.
Yeah, no one goes to those games. They do, but it's a dump. I'm not. Sorry if you're from Oklahoma City, I get it, but like you get it too. Come on, don't lie.
I can't wait for the comments now.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
All right, next one, Atlanta.
They already had a team, and you guys left. You guys already proved you guys don't want NHL in Atlanta. So
what team left?
The Thrashers, the Atlanta Thrashers. No, see, people don't even remember, but I do. I remember. No, you don't get a team. You're gonna have to wait.
All right, what about Portland?
Seattle just got a team recently. It makes sense to have Portland, to have a rivalry. I could see that happening. I wouldn't be mad.
Kansas City.
No, I don't I don't like Patrick Mahomes. No. No, you don't get your way, Patrick. You're already going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks in the world when your career's done. So no, I don't want him to have his way. No, Kansas City.
All right. This is probably going into Canada and also Quebec.
Why do I think of South Park when I think of Canada? They look like a bunch of garbage pills, like talking. Quebec, no. The only way I would sign off on that if you bring back the Nordiques. You call them the Quebec Nordiques. Then we can talk, but maybe.
What about Hamilton?
No.
Just straight no?
No.
No reason behind that? Just no?
I don't even know where Hamilton is, so no.
Okay. Halifax?
Is that in Canada?
That sounds Canadian to me.
It sounds like Switzerland or something. Halifax? That's fine.
I could look them up.
Yeah, let's look up. Now that we're on here, show me Halifax.
Well, let me do Hamilton real quick. Because there's so much Hamilton, right?
No, Hamilton's not going to be... I'm not a fan of the whole Hamilton, so... The only Canadian team would be Quebec. What about Hartford? We didn't see Hartford on there. And there's talk that Connecticut wants a team. The Hartford Whalers. Remember when they left? Yeah. What about Halifax, Canada? Let's just look it up. See how many people live there. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Put it on the map. Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to pull it up. I would have failed that in geography. So
Me too. So it's way northeast.
Yeah, it's past Maine. Nova Scotia.
East of Maine, right?
Would you? I don't know. It makes sense. You just get on that freeway right there and you're in Maine.
I mean, how big is this area? It looks kind of...
It's not big. No, why would you put a team that's the size of Chandler, Arizona?
Unless they want to build that city up.
Hockey team's not going to build it up.
Maybe for Canada.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Canadians love hockey, so I'll give it to them. Oh, Canada.
Yeah, I mean...
The national anthem is kind of...
But do you think the Coyotes, this is probably it? They might lose them? This is
the last big push,
I feel like this is it. Like, figure it out or they're gone for sure.
No, they have to because the other cities have to prepare. Because what if there's other cities that they want to build a stadium for them and not share? And they want to build an entertainment, because it's not just about building a stadium. It's about what else can you build around it? Hotels and shopping centers. Like when the Coyotes went up Gila Bend or River Casino Stadium, whatever it was called, they built all that out. It wasn't there before. So they built all those restaurants and bars and everything for them.
Here's the thing with Arizona. It's expensive to play ice hockey here.
Yeah, it's
not like up north where you just need the lake to freeze up and you just go there with your skates and start playing hockey.
That's why I think it makes more sense like Salt Lake City. That would be my
Does it get cold enough
to
play on the lake?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the reason why I don't see Arizona as just this hockey place. We're just trying to force it. We're just
not. We're forcing it because we're big, but it's not. I think I can see Salt Lake City. Portland, I don't know if it gets cold enough. Do you? I don't know if it does. Like, it's crazy cold. Nova Scotia, like what you just saw, is small. I wonder if it would work out. But Quebec, put them back to Quebec if you want. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of cool. And the Nordiques, I like that kind of stuff. Atlanta, for sure, no. They don't. It's the same thing with Arizona. Like they forced Atlanta to have a team, and they failed miserably. Mm-hmm. Maybe because they're called the Atlanta Thrashers, and it was ugly jerseys and stuff. But I don't want them to leave. I love their jerseys when Jeremy Roenick, the Coyote, with the all these different color scheme. Like the original logo. Like no. Like I will not buy another Arizona Coyote thing until you find out if they're staying or not.
Oh, right. It's just a matter of where they're going to stay. Hopefully they don't make another bad location like they did with Glendale. That was terrible.
Scottsdale's going to win. I mean, it makes sense.
Scottsdale does make a lot of sense.
Over there by Desert Ridge would be kind of cool.
Where in Scottsdale do you think it'd be?
It's going to be North Scottsdale. It has to be off the freeway. You got to have freeway access.
Yes.
So I think over there by where the 101, 202 meet.
Okay.
No, not the 202.
No, not the 202. That'd be South Scottsdale.
That's South Scottsdale. But
right,
that'd be
crossing
but that's even better, like for me.
Sure. I mean,
that works. 2
freeways crossing. It's right by Tempe, so it's like you're almost mocking Tempe.
Well, it'd be great. It'd be like slap in the face. Ha ha, Tempe. You know what? That's where they should go. So they can be like, look what you could have had, Tempe. And then have like these awesome restaurants, stores, retail, and it's just booming. And Scottsdale has record numbers because the hockey team's winning and they won a Stanley Cup in your face.
I've heard this. It might go on an Indian reservation too, off the 101 by the casinos. Yep. And they could build up more that way too.
Yeah, they could get a lease. I'm sure the Indians should be, the community there should be open about it because You already have Top Golf. You have the casino there. What an attraction for your casino, right? Mm-hmm. You get people that come in to watch a game.
You have hotels already.
You already have hotel. You already have a resort. Plus, you have the Top Golf right across the street from there, and then of course they'll build more stuff.
Right.
So that would be pretty cool.
Be a good move for.
That's what we need to do. We need to figure that out so we can get credit for that. You heard it here first.
No, there's already been talks about it though.
Yeah, that's true. We're just piggybacking off of that. Thanks for watching our clip. If you want to see more clips like this and you like our views, like the show, click here for some more clips. If you want to hear the whole podcast, watch the whole podcast, click here for the whole podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll get back to you. Thank you, and have a great day.